Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Boardnamona O'Connor Park for the Lidl Ladies National Football League Round 2 between Limerick and Offaly. Both teams line out as per the selections earlier in the week. The Limerick team in goals number 1, Sophie Hennessy. Full-back line number 2, Yvonne Lee. Number 3, Maeve McCarthy. And number 4, Leah Coughlin. The half-back line wearing number 5 is Maeve McNamara. Number 6, Niamh McCarthy. And number 7, Christine Reedy. Middle of the field wearing number 8 is Caroline Hickey and number 9 Roisin Ambrose. The half forward line number 10 Anya Cunningham, number 11 Andrea Sullivan and number 12 Katie Heelan. The full forward line number 13 Lauren Ryan, number 14 Amy Ryan and number 15 Iris Kennelly. The Offaly team lines out as follows in goals: number 1 Sinead Byrne, the full back line number 2 Annie Keogh, number 3 Orla Whelan and number 4 Roisin Ennis.
Good afternoon from Boardnamona O'Connor Park in Tullamore. It is the Lidl Ladies National Football League. It is a round 2 clash of Offaly and Limerick. It's an absolutely stunning day here in the faithful county at Boardnamona Park. The sides are still going through their final preparations. The warm-up's almost complete. Limerick now actually on the other side having a discussion with their manager Donal Ryan. The referees for today's game is Patrick Smith. He comes from Waterford, and we'll just have a quick look at the teams now before throw-in, which is just a couple of moments away. Offaly are able to name an unchanged side from last week, where they defeated Carlow by 6 points in IT Carlow. Sinead Byrne remains their goalkeeper. Annie Keogh captains the side from cornerback. The half-back line is made up of Emma Corcoran, Dawn Hannon and Michelle Mann. The impressive Amy Gavin Mangan partners Aoife Carey at midfield. Emma Maher and Marie Byrne are either side of dual star Roisin Egan in the half forward line, while Chloe Sheridan is at full forward, and she's flanked by Mairead Daly and Grania Egan. Daly and Egan combined for 213 of last week's total for Offaly. As I said, the victory over Carlow away from home has them in a very good position in going into round 2. We'll just take a look at the Limerick team now. And as I mentioned, Donal Ryan is the Limerick manager, and he's able to call upon 10 of the side who started last year's All-Ireland Junior semi-final defeat to Fermanagh. Sophie Hennessy continues in goal, while dual player Yvonne Lee starts at cornerback. Maeve McCarthy and Leah Coughlin make up the full back line. Niamh McCarthy, she captains the side from centre half back, while Caroline Hickey is alongside another dual star in Roisin Ambrose at midfield. Anya Cunningham, who also played with Limerick senior camogie yesterday, she's at 10. She's joined alongside Andrea Sullivan and Katie Heelan, who complete the half-forward line. The full forward line sees Lauren Ryan and Amy Ryan, and they're joined by the pacey Iris Kennelly to complete the 15. Limerick are able to start with 9 different clubs in this starting 15. So as I said, the teams undergoing their final instructions from management here. Offaly away to our right hand side. They're managed by Gary Daly. He had been very impressed with their showing last week, which got them the crucial win away to Carlow, and they'll be looking to add to this and secure their place in a semi-final. And a reminder that this is the only group of 3 in the entire Little Ladies National Football League, so 2 of the 3 will progress. So Offaly, with 1 foot already in the semi-final and another positive result today, will see them straight into the semi-final in the coming weeks. Limerick in their final huddle, crossing the far side, their first outing of the year, and Donal Ryan, as he mentioned during the week into the local press, that his side were unable to get a challenge game last week, as they were the only side of the 31 in the Ladies League not in action, so no side available for a challenge game even, and just I suppose look at the draw that Limerick found themselves in the smallest group. National anthem is fast approaching here. A reminder that Division 4 split into 2 groups. This is Division 4B, and in Division 4A you have the likes of Derry, Antrim, Leitrim and Louth. Antrim getting the victory last week over Derry on a 5-10 to 3-4 scoreline, while Louth, they were beaten away to Leitrim 3-14 to 3-6. And the meetings today in that group sees Louth entertaining Antrim in Dundalk, while Leitrim, they host Derry also this afternoon. And just before we start, a quick mention of the Offaly Ladies football chairman. That's Tom Fitzmaurice. had an accident off his bike in the last few days and is recovering in hospital. We wish you all the best, Tom, and I'm told you're not just a chairman, you're a very good chairman. Your colleagues in the county board are discussing it there a little bit earlier, and unfortunate that you had that accident, but hopefully we'll be seeing you at a game in the very near future, and best of luck with the recovery there. So that's Tom Fitzmaurice, the Offaly chairman. We stand now for the national anthem. So the side set for this Division 4B clash. The referee sounds the whistle, and the very final preparations with Limerick strength and conditioning coach going underway there. The final few bits and pieces just to get the body right before this clash. As I said, it's a stunning day here in the Midlands. Plenty of sun and warmth around the place. If you're looking for a bit of a breeze, well, there's not very much, and if it is, it's coming across the field towards us here in this beautifully manufactured stand. Looks like Limerick will be playing from left to right as the players take up their positions. Offaly in their changed white and green. And just to mention, it's just caught a glimpse of the Limerick kit earlier. It's a newly designed kit, and that jersey was designed by 13-year-old Grace Kelly, and Grace plays with the Munger St. Paul's Club just on the outskirts of Limerick City. And that after going to a judging panel, she was selected among 5 jerseys and then eventually won the public vote. So well done, Grace, a cracking looking jersey. As we're about to get underway here, and we are underway. So Limerick, as I said, playing from right to left, and Roisin Ambrose pokes the ball away. And the ball finds its way out of play, that off the hand of Christine Reedy. So line ball to Offaly in the opening exchanges. Marie Byrne brings it in field and finds Roisin Egan, one of 2 dual stars in the Offaly side. And this is Grania Egan. Egan taking on her player, loses control and recycles again to Roisin Egan. It's a good build up from Offaly, patient if anything. They did score a goal very early last week from a free, and good patient defence as well, it must be said, from Limerick. This is now Murray Daly slips it off to midfielder Amy Gavin Mangan, back to Daly, and Daly slips it. She lost control of it. The referee doesn't see anything wrong with that, and Limerick come away with it now. That is Leah Coughlin, and Leah Coughlin is fouled, and Limerick had a chance to clear their lines, and it looks like full-back Maeve McCarthy will grab hold of it. As I said, Offaly cracking start last week in IT Carlow, got a goal and a point in the coupling moments, and they could be well on their way to the first score of today's game, and that's a bit wayward, and it is actually the first wide of this afternoon's game. Great news, of course, during the week that a number of games across the country in different codes will have spectators at them in the coming weeks as more or less trial events, and we hope to see you at a game very soon around the country as Limerick launched their first attack. This is Roisin Ambrose. Ambrose played at wing back yesterday for the Limerick Camogie side, and she links well with her forwards, and it's Katie Heelan. Heelan is turned over, and Offaly now through Mairead Daly. In fact, it was Marie Byrne, and advantage played to Offaly, and it's Roisin Egan, who slips it into Amy Gavin Mangan, and Mangan a low ball inside, and it looks like Yvonne Lee is going to get there first. She does indeed for Limerick, but can she prevent a 45? She cannot. So the game's first 45. A couple of moments after the game's first wide, it's going to be right out on the corner. And a reminder that if a 45 is scored in this game, it is 2 points, but given the angle, it is extremely unlikely that we're going to see that on this occasion. So can Offaly work an attack from this, and it's Aoife Carey who goes backwards with it. And Roisin Ennis finding herself in an advanced position for a cornerback, and she links with Marie Byrne, scorer of a point last week. And she threw it up and caught it, according to the match official, Patrick Smith. And Limerick, second free to them, and a chance to clear their lines. The ball, Iris Kennelly is unable to grasp it at the first opportunity, and the ball is out for a line ball. Very warm day, so the water breaks will be, I'm sure, will be welcomed in around the 15-minute mark, but interesting to see who can grab the impetus between now and then. And Offaly making the early running. It's Mairead Daly links well with half forward Marie Byrne, and again good defending by Limerick, and the referee judges that the Limerick player had possession of it and that the ball was pulled illegally from her. So now Limerick can once again, through a free, clear their lines, and that's goalkeeper Sophie Hennessy. Lovely ball from Hennessy, finding Anya Cunningham, and she links with her wing back, that's Maeve McNamara. Donal Ryan screams deliver, looking for the ball to be played into his inside forwards as it finds its way back to Maeve McCarthy, or Maeve McNamara I should say, to Maeve Max on the Limerick team, and she's fouled. Maeve McCarthy is from county champion St Ailbe's, who, when club action does get underway later this season, will be looking for 3 in a row, having won it against Monaghan in the last 2 seasons. And Limerick with their first really advanced free, and it's going to be taken by Andrea O'Sullivan, and she goes backwards to Roisin Ambrose, back to O'Sullivan. Good link play there between the two of those, but again Offaly showing perhaps a bit of sharpness in defence, having played a competitive game last week. Limerick not in action since last November in a competitive sense, and good rating forward here now from Offaly. Ball beats the full back line. There's a chance to first score of the game. Sidesteps the goalkeeper. Back of the net, it's Mairead Daly with the game's opening score, more or less bang on 5 minutes on the clock, and a well taken goal. A lovely sidestep around Sophie Hennessy, and Mairead Daly, well, she got 1-5 last week, and she's already opened her account here 5 minutes in. The first score of the game going in favour of the hosts, and a very well taken goal. Missed fullback misjudged the possession, misjudged the high ball. Daly made no mistake, sidestepping the goalkeeper, and just when she was running out of steps, fired to the empty net. And bright start from the hosts, but Limerick, well, plenty of time to recover. They'll know that, and a bit like last week, Offaly opening with a goal, as Limerick come away with Katie Heelan inside to midfielder Caroline Hickey. Back to Heelan, a willing runner is Heelan, looks direct towards Amy Ryan, and that just misjudged the flight of that one, and the ball trickles out for Limerick's first wide of the game. Amy Ryan was in impressive goal scoring form last season, and Limerick will be looking to her again to keep the scoreboard busy. 2 goals in last year's All-Ireland semi-final with Fermanagh, and yet to get a hold of the possession here, but real danger close to goal, much like her brother Pat, who is with the Limerick Senior Hurlers. And a chance now for Sinead Byrne, her first involvement in the game, and well worked from Offaly. They get the ball to hand through centre back Dawn Hannon. Hannon straight up the middle to number 11 Roisin Egan, and Egan, a very impressive footballer, but not too impressed by that pass there, as Limerick turn it over once again and come away through Maeve McNamara. McNamara linking once again with Ambrose. And again, that's good running by Roisin Ambrose, showing no ill effect. She played most of the game yesterday. Can she get Limerick's first score? Roisin Ambrose bearing down in goal, looks for the first score, and indeed she has got it. Just over 7 minutes on the game clock, and Roisin Ambrose fires Limerick's first score of the 2021 Lidl National Ladies Football League. A well taken point, linking once again well with wing-back Maeve McNamara, and a very well taken score. And Limerick on the board here, 1 goal to a point they trail. Caroline Hickey is adjudged to have been pushed, and she gets on with it very quickly and finds Katie Heelan. Heelan being given plenty of respect by her opposition by standing off her. Lovely solo run there, but well blocked down by Roisin Ennis. As Offaly look, and again they look towards Roisin Egan. Fine camogie player as well with the Offaly camogie side. She looks direct towards her full forward line, and she finds Mairead Daly. Daly, well, played a good ball, but her teammate slipped, and Limerick turn it over in around that 45 area again, as they've done a number of times. And here is Roisin Ambrose. Can she add to that early point? She finds Amy Bryan, who gathers it at the second attempt, linking well with centre forward Andrea O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan slips her player, and Andrea O'Sullivan has Limerick's second point of the afternoon. Well worked score from the turnover in their own half, and as we're into the 9th minute, Limerick within 1 through Andrea O'Sullivan. Again though, it's Offaly who managed to come away with the ball from their own kick out, but once again in around that 45 metre mark, Limerick able to turn it over. Maeve McCarthy comes away with it, and now it's with Christine Reedy. Reedy looking for options, delaying the pass because she doesn't see a suitable one, and the referee judges that she overcarried the ball. And one of the first frees of the game in Offaly's favour. Reedy just ran out of ideas there, and eventually judged to have overcarried. As again, that familiar sight of Roisin Egan linking the ball, and the ball finds its way to number 10, Emma Maher, and Emma Maher from all of 35 metres sends the ball to the left and wide. Referee just checking on an Offaly player, and that is Chloe Sheridan, and I think he's looking for medical assistance there. Sheridan is from the Clara club. She got 1-1 last week away to Carlow, so she'll be looking to add to that today. It looks like I might have a temporary substitution on the Offaly team, if my hearing is working. No, we're going to continue 14-15 for the moment, and Limerick with another kick out with Sophie Hennessy. Good hand passing as Caroline Hickey finds midfield partner Roisin Ambrose. Plenty of Roisin so far. Ball towards Lauren Ryan. Ryan, well, the ball was kicked away as she went to pick it up, and that is a free.
On the Offaly team, number 19, Ciara Walsh replaces number 14, Chloe Sheridan.
Yes, so Ciara Walsh is in for Chloe Sheridan as a temporary substitution, as Limerick look to level the game, or in fact go one better. And the ball is over the bar. It's a levelling score. And despite the early concession of that goal after 5 minutes, Limerick have responded very, very well. And I think that was Andrea O'Sullivan with her second point of the game. Level here in Tullamore. Limerick settling into their stride, it must be said. And finally the turnover kick out. This is Hickey into Amy Ryan. Doesn't think about a shot, just decides to recycle it to Andrea O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan taking on her player. Sullivan onto her right foot. She strikes it high, and she strikes it direct over the bar, and that's Limerick into the lead for the first time this afternoon. Just over 11 minutes gone, and Andrea O'Sullivan linking well with Amy Ryan, and a very well taken score. From the moment it left her boot, there was no doubt about it. The umpire had to reach straight for that white flag. And this kick out goes short. Amy Ryan flicks, turns it over. Katie Heelan is on it, has to go back, and Offaly, they'll have got away with that one there, and they're going to try and launch an attack of their own. Good interchange of passes. Caroline Hickey, good hand on the ball as it goes down in towards the corner here. There's a foul there by Limerick corner back Leah Coughlin, and the player she fouled was Mairead Daly. Mairead Daly showing well for the ball in the early exchanges, it must be said. And there's going to be a free just beyond the 45-metre mark, which Roisin Egan has to hand and is going to look for a white shirt. Lovely ball from Egan. This is back with Aoife Carey. Again, an awfully sharp with the passes as she bursts through a tackle there. Comes to Marie Byrne. Elects not to shoot. Back it comes onto the left foot of Marie Byrne. And that's level once again. The second time we've been level. The left boot there of Marie Byrne, adding to the point, as I mentioned already last week in Carlow. So that's a point in each of the games so far. A well taken score on that occasion. As the Limerick kick out doesn't find its target, it's turned over in favour of Offaly. Oh, great hands by the Limerick goalkeeper, Sophie Hennessy, and she comes out to this side here, and there was a chance for Offaly to regain the lead, but good hands by Hennessy, and Limerick will look to go up the other end and get their nose back in front. Katie Heelan beaten to it by Amy Gavin Mangan. Mangan picks it and just overcooks her pass, looking for Mairead Daly, and the ball trickles out for the third Offaly wide. And she was just a little bit disappointed with that. She did the hard work, did Amy Gavin Mangan, but just overcooked her pass. Blustery enough if you're judging by the flags, if wind has picked up a minor amount. As Niamh McCarthy finds it for Limerick, and the ball is sprayed out to Leah Coughlin. Coughlin linking well. The hand passing game improving as we speak for Limerick. Katie Heelan certainly been one of the busier forwards for Limerick so far. Heelan steps out of a challenge, but Amy Gavin Mangan overturns it, and a lovely tummy finds the pass inside to Roisin Egan. Egan, a very willing runner, very capable, and Marie Byrne with the ball. It's a 50-50 ball, and it's a green shirt that comes up with it, and the referee indicates there's a foul in there, and I think that was Maeve McCarthy for Limerick who pounced on the opportunity to turn the ball over. In fact, Limerick have now turned it over. The ball to Maeve McCarthy is out over the sideline. First half water break fast approaching. Can one side get in front before that? Offaly will have a chance to do so through a free. The free taker last week, Grania Egan, she scored 1-6 from place balls in Carlow, ended with 1-8, and you must remember she made national headlines over last weekend when she got 3 goals and 5 points against Dublin Camogie on Saturday, and that 1 goal and 8 points against Carlow on Sunday. So 4 goals, 13 last weekend. Can she open her account this afternoon for the footballers? Off the ground, straight over the crossbar, and Offaly back in front. As I mentioned, Grania Egan opens her account, and there is the whistle for the first half water break. 14.5 minutes or thereabouts gone, and it's Offaly who find themselves a goal and one goal and 2 points to 4 points ahead. And on a hot day like this, the water break has been well earned. Perhaps Donal Ryan, despite being a point down, will be the happier of the two, conceding a goal after 5 minutes. It had Limerick in a bit of trouble, but they recovered well with Andrea Sullivan and Roisin Ambrose on the score sheet. Got Limerick ahead, and the last 2 points going in favour of Offaly. Of course, the water breaks, part of the COVID-19 protocols that the LGFA have had to implement. Just no sharing of water, and the subs, of course, as you can see on the far side, are spaced out. Players well used to it now, though, having had the championship last season. which Offaly were in the intermediate action. Lost both their group games and were unable to make an impact on the championship. Limerick, meanwhile, in the junior championship, progressed after a couple of wins. They progressed to a semi-final where they were beaten by Fermanagh in a goal-filled game. Stone and Ryan will have hoped that the side will have learned from that and will take that into their league and championship for 2021. So the referee, Mr. Patrick Smith from Waterford, is happy to have enough water on board. It's a Limerick free on the 21, or a goal kick out on the 21 to get us back underway. Goes short again, but Limerick able to work it out, and it's Maeve McCarthy up this right wing, a familiar sight in this game so far, and a very long ball, but a miscued one, and it's out for a line ball. The Offaly goalkeeper Sinead Byrne is giving an option for this line ball, although it's unlikely she'll go back from 60 metres to her goalkeeper. She doesn't, and she goes instead to Gavin Mangan and receives the pass back again. Caroline Hickey gives pursuit for Limerick. Back to Roisin Egan, and inside again, plenty of runners off the ball from Offaly. Very in tune attack. Aoife Carey has to check back inside to Egan. She in turn finds Mairead Daly, and again there's plenty of white shirts there as options in the ball. Well, the shot comes in eventually, very, very high and very, very wide. That from Emma Maher. Fourth Offaly wide now. And as you can see, Limerick retreat when Offaly do attack, and they try to cut down the space, but Offaly's hand passing is quite good. But on that occasion the shot didn't match the build-up play. The Limerick kick out doesn't find its target again, and a chance now from the right boot of Roisin Egan, and she'll be very disappointed with that. Egan, one of a couple of Naomh Ciarán players in the Offaly panel. 5 in fact, and they did win the All-Ireland Club Intermediate title in 2019. The first Offaly club to lift silverware at ladies club level. So very formidable side in the Offaly Ladies Football Championship. 6 in a row I think they did win last season. And a push in the back here sees Limerick awarded a free on the 65. Amy Ryan makes a move for the ball straight away. She gets a hand to it, but 2 white shirts and she's outnumbered, and Offaly come away with it. Very good defending by Offaly in the last maybe 5 or 6 minutes. Limerick limited, it must be said, in their chances to attack, and the ball comes out to Michelle Mann, and Mann lets it loose inside to Emma Maher. Lovely ball back inside, a lovely little flick to herself from Roisin Egan. She's to go away from goal though, and Limerick trying to get the bodies back. And it fight to Marie Byrne. Byrne already on the score sheet, but slips it off to midfielder Aoife Carey. And Aoife Carey is now on the score sheet as Offaly 1-3 to 4 points, upping up that lead again. Again, a very well worked score. Turnover in their own corner. 3 or 4 passes there down in the Limerick, inside the Limerick 45, and then recycled and put over the bar by the midfielder. Limerick finally do find a green shirt from a kick out. But again, the Offaly forwards working very, very hard as the ball is turned over. And now, well, she seems to be absolutely everywhere. Roisin Egan. Lovely little pass inside. And the ball is poked out over the end line by Yvonne Lee for another 45, the second of the afternoon in favour of Offaly. Yvonne Lee was on the Limerick Junior Camogie side yesterday. They defeated Waterford by 110 to 5 points. That game played in Kilmallock as the first game there yesterday afternoon before the Limerick senior side were defeated by All-Ireland finalists from last year, Galway. So another opportunity now for Offaly. Yeah, the wind seems to be blustery enough here, and a lovely little worked move here as Amy Gavin Mangan latches onto it. Breaks through 2 tackles, 3 tackles off her right foot, and a very, very well worked score as Amy Gavin Mangan increases Offaly's lead. A goal in it now, 1 goal and 4 points for the hosts, and 4 points for Limerick, who have not scored now since the 12th minute. And they'll be looking to employ the scoreboard operator here in Boardnamona O'Connor Park before the interval. Good kick out again from Sophie Hennessy, and Maeve McCarthy takes it to hand into Roisin Ambrose. Looks up, can't see a green shirt in open space, and she tries to find Lauren Ryan, but it is again an Offaly defender in front, and you'd have to wonder, the advantage of a game last week, will that stand to Offaly as this game progresses? Certainly their defence on top at times so far, and a foul there by Maeve McNamara. Arm a little bit too high for the referee's liking, and he correctly awards the free kick in favour of the hosts. Limerick with about 9-10 players behind the ball for this free kick, and trying to really limit the space offered to the very, very comfortable Offaly forwards. And here is one of them, slipping it off to Mairead Daly. Daly breaks a couple of tackles, nothing doing, says the referee, and Limerick can come away with it. Counter-attack seems to be the order of the day for both sides, and especially Limerick. And back inside comes Christine Reedy. Lovely little pass inside to Katie Heelan. Heelan, lovely little jink on her every single time, and she finds Andrea O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan already on the score sheet, but great work by Amy Gavin Mangan, and that's turned over in around that 30-metre mark by Offaly again, and they can launch a counter-attack of their own. Down in this right wing we have Marie Byrne. Byrne low ball inside to the corner forward and the very impressive Grania Egan, but Limerick come away with it and can try and launch a proper attack of their own. Roisin Ambrose skips by 1 tackle, skips by 2, and just when she looked to have overcarried, she is fouled, and Ambrose takes the free kick quickly. That seems to be the order of the day for Limerick as they look to improve on the 4 points they've got so far. Just a check back. Lovely ball out here towards Katie Heelan. She's going to have to race to keep that in play, and she does comfortably win that race, and she recycles it now to Iris Kennelly. Kennelly got a couple of goals in the championship against Kildare in 2019. Didn't see her last season in the championship, but the ball goes over the bar for Limerick's first point in about 10 minutes, and it's Katie Heelan linking well with Iris Kennelly, and Heelan just onto the right foot and very comfortably slots it over the crossbar. Limerick well and truly in this game as the ball comes down on top of Heelan, but Amy Gavin Mangan breaks it. An advantage is being played in favour of Offaly as the ball is a free inside. The referee sees a bit of holding by the Limerick fullback, I think it was, and the free kick is just taken very, very quickly. Limerick not set. No, in fact the referee is calling it back. It's going to be a free kick on the edge of the D. Good spot by the referee to see the pulling 50 or so metres ahead of where the ball was, and another opportunity for Grania Egan to add to her tally. Always an impressive skill to see the ball. Free kicks taken from the ground and put over the bar, so can she add to the one she got a couple of minutes ago? This one is wayward to the left, and a 6th Offaly wide. She'll be disappointed with that. Didn't really get the elevation required, and certainly didn't get the direction. Yvonne Lee takes the kick out. Limerick, when they do go short, have had much more success, and Leah Coughlin gets a hold of it and finds Christine Reedy. Reedy back to Coughlin. Has to check inside. Limited space. Caroline Hickey plays the ball in front of Iris Kennelly, and as I mentioned already, plenty of pace in those legs for Kennelly, and she, lovely little return ball to Hickey. Hickey back to Kennelly. There's an opportunity here for Limerick. Back to Kennelly. Thought about the shot. Instead switches across to half forward. Another chance off the left foot, and it's over the crossbar. Limerick back to within 1. Anya Cunningham on that occasion. In fact, it was Laura Ryan off her left boot that gets her first score of the afternoon. And Limerick back to within 1. Limerick turn it over now. It's Roisin Ambrose. Skips by 1 challenge. Goes through 2. Advantage being played off the right boot. It's going to go short. It's going to go wide. But in fact, we're back for the free kick. Good officiating, it must be said. And a very, very impressive run from Roisin Ambrose. Limerick an opportunity now to level the game. They were level, of course, at a goal to 3 points. They were then level at 4 points to 1-1. And an opportunity to be level for the 4th time in this opening half. A little bit of dispute over who is to retrieve the football. In the end, it's Amy Ryan. And now we have 2 footballs on the field. Just 4 minutes plus additional to the half. A chance for Iris Kennelly. Around 35-40 metres with the angle out from goal, out of the hands. It's going to go short. And it's a white shirt in front of it on this occasion. So Limerick will have to wait for that equalising score as the ball finds its way to Roisin Egan. Offaly, well, the shirt numbers mean very little at times. And case in point is Emma Corcoran breaking up the field. Corcoran looking direct, but good covering play by Maeve McCarthy. Limerick going to build out through Roisin Ambrose again. Ambrose doesn't have much options in front of her, although there's the arrival of Katie Heelan. Heelan, yeah, just too many steps there. She'll be disappointed with that, but not enough green shirts showing for her, it must be said. And an opportunity now for Offaly to come up the field as Emma Corcoran takes the free and finds Emma Maher. Roisin Egan, powerful runner, has to check back though. Didn't even think about the shot, probably just too far out from goal. Plenty of green shirts back there. Ball is still in hand. The referee happy enough there was no foul either way there. And it's dished out here. Chance of a second Offaly goal. It's over the bar instead. And Offaly stretching that advantage again. And I do believe that was Grania Egan. Certainly a sniff of a second goal there for the host, but Limerick did get enough bodies back, and the point was the sensible option. Looks like Offaly are going to turn it over again as Grania Egan sees it go out for a line ball. Egan takes it quickly. And a chance now for Roisin Egan. Again, Egan doesn't, she likes to link up the play, didn't even think about a shot there, but she's the second bite of the cherry, she's going to find it now. She has a look at the posts. Roisin Egan trailing to the right and wide. Very good press though by Offaly at times. They've really forced the issue with the Limerick kick out, and they're going to have another opportunity to do so now with 90 seconds or so of normal time left in this opening 30 minutes. Again, it finds a white shirt. Marie Byrne gets a hold of it, slips her marker, slips it inside, and it's into the back of the net. It's Mairead Daly. Well, she got the opening goal of the game, and she's done it again. 2 goals in this opening half, and a very, very well finished goal. Didn't need to try and take the net off the goals. She just rolled it in beyond Sophie Hennessy, who could do little about that one as well. And Offaly now in good firm control, as they were last week in the opening half. 2 goals in 5 is a decent total in 29 minutes of football, as they do make a change there. We'll confirm that once we know who that is. Limerick desperate need of a score before the break. And there's a trip there on Andrea O'Sullivan. And Limerick with the opportunity to get up the field. Ambrose out to Maeve McCarthy. Nice direct ball into the corner to Anya Cunningham. Got a point yesterday in the Camogie. Can she do similar here for the Limerick ladies footballers? Jinking one way, then the other. Shot's going to be off target, but it could find Amy Ryan. And Ryan unable to keep that in. Bit unlucky there from Limerick. A second wide for them now. Five points the advantage for Offaly. Their kickouts have been very efficient so far. They've only had, I believe, 7, and they found their 7 or 8 have had found their target on most occasions. As an injury there comes to Roisin Ennis. Referee halts play. Ennis holding her wrist or her hand. She looks to be okay though. She's going to get a minor amount of treatment. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. And we're into first half stoppage time here in Boardnamona, O'Connor Park. These sides did meet in the league last season. That game was on in Atay in West Limerick, and it finished a draw on that occasion. So Offaly will be pleased that they're ahead of Limerick at this moment. Fairly evenly matched last season. At the moment, though, Offaly with the upper hand, and they can try and extend it now before the break as the ball comes to Aoife Carey. Carey gets through a couple of challenges. Advantage coming. No advantage coming, it should be said. And another free for Offaly. Interesting to see what Grania Egan does with this one. Again, she's just going to plop the ball down on the ground. She's definitely going to have a go. Like any good free taker, she has that confidence. She should surely have the confidence after last week with a goal and 6 from place balls. Lovely routine, but unfortunately this occasion it goes a little bit short, and Limerick come away with it through Leah Coughlin. Coughlin is from the Ula club on the Tipperary Limerick border, just beyond Doon. And Limerick come away now through Christine Reedy. And there is the half-time whistle from referee Patrick Smith. It's Offaly in control here in Boardnamona, O'Connor Park. There are 2 goals and 5 points to 6 points to the good. 2 goals from the ever-impressive Mairead Daly, and that has them in control at the interval. We'll be back shortly with the second half. Their way back out onto the field. They did elect to go to the dressing room at half-time. Offaly, meanwhile, they're on the far side here. They're just going through a mini warm-up again. They did stay out on the field at the end of that first half and listen to the words of Gary Daly and Joe Quinn and the rest of the backroom team. Be interesting to see what, if anything, Donal Ryan and Derry Peters, the Limerick, Bonnish and Merforna will have come up with at half-time, and see can they just tweak it a little bit to try and get themselves back into this game. 5 points they find themselves behind. Those 2 goals from Ray Daly in the 5th minute and the 29th minute proving absolutely crucial in this game so far. And elsewhere in Division 4, in Division 4A, you have Derry and then Leitrim leading at half-time 1 goal and 8 points to 4 points, and you had Louth leading Antrim in Dundalk. That's 2-8 to 4 points in favour of Louth, and if those results were to stay the way they were, that would mean all 4 teams would have 1 win after 2 rounds, and it would leave the last round to be very, very intriguing indeed, and the potential for scoring difference and all kinds of permutations on the final day next weekend. Speaking of next weekend, Limerick, no matter what the result here, will have another game next weekend. That's against Carlow at the LIT Gaelic Grounds. And they know that if they can just get something out of this game, that'll make that Carlow game all the more easy next week. But in any case, they're going to have to go out and try and win both this game and that clash with Carlow next week. That's the final round of games in this Division 4B. So the referee, Patrick Smith from Waterford, just adjusting his watch. Final rows of encouragement for the second half as we're underway here again. Caroline Hickey finds Roisin Ambrose, wins the throw-in herself. Ambrose got Limerick's opening point of the game, and she finds centre forward Andrea O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan bearing down a goal, and O'Sullivan scores a goal! 16 seconds into the second half, and well, whatever Donal Ryan told him at half-time, he couldn't have asked for a better start. Right back in the game as straight from kick-off. 3 players involved. It was Caroline Hickey to Roisin Ambrose to Andrea O'Sullivan, and O'Sullivan made absolutely no mistake with the finish low to the corner. Very little Sinead Byrne could do about it in the Offaly goal, and Limerick well and truly back in this contest. This is O'Sullivan again, the confidence surely up now after that. Back to Caroline Hickey, linking again with Roisin Ambrose. Ambrose, this is going to be short and it's going to be wayward. Limerick just kicking 2 wides in the first half. That's their 3rd now in the game, but right back in the game thanks to that goal from Andrea O'Sullivan. A goal and a point in last year's All-Ireland semi-final against Fermanagh. And she Ballylanders clubwoman gets Limerick back into it. Here she is again. Hand pass over the top to Amy Ryan. Amy Ryan certainly knows where the goal is, and she definitely does now. 2 goals and 6. And all of a sudden, within 85 seconds or so of the start of the second half, Limerick find themselves ahead. And Offaly, well, they're bamboozled by this start. They stayed out in the field, they did everything right from their point of view, but suddenly Limerick have a run on them and 2 goals. Amy Ryan with that one. I spoke earlier about how she knew where the net was, and she certainly finished that with a plumb into the top left corner. And it's one-way traffic at the start of this second half. Offaly really struggling to get a hold of the football. This is Anya Cunningham. Cunningham goes back to Iris Kennelly. What a score that is from Iris Kennelly. Well, everything Limerick are doing right now seems to be working. What a score. Received the pass onto the right foot, put plenty of height on it. It was almost known as they'd say. And straight over the crossbar for Limerick's 7th point of the game, and 2 goals and a point inside the opening 3 minutes. Well, what a game in prospect now we have in the second half. It's green of Limerick as the ball is played inside. The referee's going to call this back. The referee does call it back. The free taken about 5 or 6 metres ahead of where it was, where it should have been from. It should have been on the 45. So in fairness, the correct call from the referee. But Limerick, well, 5 points down to 2 points up in the blink of an eye. I hope you didn't put the kettle on at home and forget about this game, because if you're only just tuning back in, well, you looking at that graphic in the top corner of your screen, it isn't lying. Limerick are now ahead, as Offaly yet to even cross the halfway line in the second half. Andrea Sullivan pops it into Amy Ryan, the goal scorer. Ryan ships a heavy enough tackle there, but Offaly come away with it. What answer do Gary Daly's side have to that early Limerick blitz? Getting out of defence will be a good place to start, and here they have it to Roisin Ennis. Ennis with options, and one of them is Amy Gavin Mangan. Mangan got a lovely point in that first half, and a very, very willing runner. Links well with her forwards line, and there's a pull back there. No, the referee elects not to put the arm outstretched, and the ball is sent wide. Offaly 7 wides in the first half, and they won't want to see that statistic growing into double digits, but it's nearly there now. That's their 8. But signs of Offaly not lying down and taking this one-way traffic. They're going to have an answer to Limerick in some shape or form, as Yvonne Lee takes the kick out again from Sophie Hennessy. Good play by Lee. Must be reminded, Yvonne Lee is nephew of Limerick senior men's football manager Billy Lee, who had a fantastic win yesterday in Wicklow. There's a chance now for Carlow. There is a free. There's a foul there, and for Offaly, I should say. A chance for the host to reply in some shape or form to those 2 Limerick goals and that point to the start of the second half. Andrea O'Sullivan and Amy Ryan with 2 goals in the space of about 90 or so seconds, added to by Iris Kennedy. And Limerick in the driving seat, but chance now for Egan. It's one you'd favour as a right-footed free taker, and she tucks it just inside that post. Well taken free from Grania Egan. 2 goals and 6 now for her side. Just a point in it. Plenty to play for. So for the next 25 minutes, Limerick have proven that first half, well, it was a decent first half, 6 points, all from play. Now 2 goals and a point, all from play as well to start of the second half. They turn it over again, and it's Christine Reedy coming out with it. Reedy, not just to be fouled, and there's a foul there instead on Roisin Ambrose, and the ball is played across to Maeve McNamara, but McNamara's pass towards Andrea Sullivan is just a little bit overcooked, and Offaly, well, can they have their purple patch? Not with passes like that, as Limerick, plenty of runners off the shoulder. Ball is just a little bit overcooked. Looking for the corner forward. Well, he was kind of playing more in a half forward role. That's Lauren Ryan, but ball is overturned, and Amy Gavin Mangan receives the sideline ball. She'll look for the return here now, I'm sure, off Emma Maher. Maher takes on her player. Bearing down a goal now. Good defending though by Niamh McCarthy. And Limerick turn it over. McCarthy just making her opponent turn from away from goal. And now a chance for Limerick through Andrea O'Sullivan. Can they extend this lead once again? Ships a challenge, gets through it, looking towards goal. She's going to keep going now as O'Sullivan. Lovely little 1-2. Andrea O'Sullivan back on the ball. We're looking towards the point mark, but slightly wayward off her left foot. She'll be disappointed after doing all the hard work from bringing it from her own 45 all the way up the field, and Limerick now doubling that wide tally of half time, gone from 2 to 4. Caroline Hickey intercepts the kick out towards Amy Ryan, just overcooked. She got her fingertips to it, and a sigh of relief will be breathed by Sinead Byrne, but again her pass is wayward, and it's Caroline Hickey again who intercepts, but it's a white shirt who comes away with it on this occasion. Plenty of excitement. The voices on the far side here in O'Connor Park have certainly been raised since the interval. A game in prospect. 7.5 minutes gone in the second half. Offaly looking for maybe a third goal. Good defensive work there. They've run her off the shoulder. Chance of a third Offaly goal. And she ends up with nothing. Slicing it off the right boot. Good advancing goalkeeping by Sophie Hennessy. And I think it was Marie Byrne there on that occasion who went down, bare down in goal, slicing it to the right and wide. A big opportunity for Offaly. This is Niamh McCarthy into Ambrose. Plenty of energy still in those legs despite the game yesterday. Would have been recovering, I'm sure, last evening. And she plays a direct ball in, but it's just overcooked for Iris Kennelly. And the defence is on top now in the last couple of minutes since that flurry of scores at the start of the second half. Here is Amy Gavin Mangan. She's looking for the return pass. Again, Limerick filtering back 6, 7, 8 now players behind the ball. But it's still in possession with Marie Byrne. Byrne soloing, looking for the post, but has to go back to Chloe Sheridan. And there's a foul there. Late hit by one of the Limerick players, and the referee's going to go to his notebook, perhaps for the first time this afternoon, and issue a yellow card. Or maybe just a ticking for the Limerick player. And indeed, that's all it is. And another opportunity for Grania Egan. Chance to level the sides. So the momentum in this game has certainly seesawed at times. And it's been a good response, in fairness, by Offaly since the concession of 2-1 inside 2 minutes. Very well taken free from Egan. Disappointing day yesterday for the Offaly Camogie side, beaten heavily away to Kilkenny. But a chance for their ladies football team to fly the flag again. 2-7 apiece. Who can grab the bull by the horns now in the last 20 minutes and get the crucial victory? A win, of course, will put Offaly through, guaranteed, to the semi-final. A narrow defeat, well, they'll be praying for something to go their way next week between Limerick and Carlow. Limerick, it's simple: win this one and give Carlow a game next week. Try and win that as well, get into that semi-final. And a free push in the back there. Anya Cunningham, the recipient of that push, as the Limerick switch it across the wings to Leah Coughlin. Coughlin checks back and finds Christine Reedy. Reedy from Fiona Castlemahon Club and the west of the county. Good play there by Katie Heelan to Andrea Sullivan. Across to Lauren Ryan. Ryan looking for a score, and it looks like she's got it. Yep, indeed she has. Tucks it inside that score. Great score from Lauren Ryan. Well taken off the right foot, and once again very well worked by Limerick. 3 or 4 passes really opens up a defence when they're played at speed and there's runners off the shoulder, and that's exactly what Donal Ryan saw from his charges there. Can Offaly reply again? Interested to see if and when substitutes are used by both sides, who and what impact they can have on this game. It's Amy Gavin Mangan. Skips inside the challenge of Caroline Hickey. Bearing down on goal now. She's going all the way. It looks like she pops it off. Goes through 2 tackles. The referee's happy enough with it. Back to Amy Gavin Mangan. And it looks like it is a penalty. Gavin Mangan brought down. And we have a penalty for the first time this afternoon. Donal Ryan not too happy with that over on the far touchline. Claiming a charge from one of the Offaly players, but well, the referee is unwavering in his decision. It's certainly a penalty in favour of Offaly, and a chance for them now to go back in front. And it's the familiar sight over a place ball. Grania Egan, her goal last week coming from a free from about 20-25 metres. This a more likely occasion to score a goal in our hometown here of Tullamore. Familiar stance that we've seen 4 or 5 times already today from frees. Strikes it, back of the net, and Offaly are back in front. That lead that Limerick had, a tender one, and Offaly have got themselves back in front. A 3rd goal for the hosts. 3 goals and 7 now. They got 3-16 last week, and they're well on their way to matching that. Enough to be in front anyway in this occasion, and a very well dispatched penalty. They're looking to add to that now as we approach the first half, or the second half water break, and another foul there by the Limerick defence. Grania Egan praising her teammate for giving her another opportunity of adding to the score sheet. So all of Offaly scores in the second half, all 1-2 of it so far, coming from the boot of Grania Egan and coming from place balls. She can add to that right now. And the trend continues. a goal and 3 now since the interval for her. And that lead at half-time was 5. Then they found themselves behind, and now they're a goal to the good. What can Limerick bring in response? Kick out is well worked again. Shouts of steps, but it finds its way back in the hands of Limerick. Very busy around that middle third as Caroline Hickey from county champion St. Ailbe's eventually finds a teammate, and there's a foul there. That's a bit of a pullback there on one of the Limerick players, Maeve McCarthy, I think it was. And we're going to have a little delay because we know football. So we're approaching the water break. Another 50 seconds or so. The ref can indicate time for a break. Can Limerick get themselves back to within 2 or indeed level with a goal before that? Roisin Ambrose, intermediate club winner in Limerick in 2019. And her free is a bit wayward. Not the time to be coughing up possession when you desperately need a score. It breaks to Amy Gavin Mangan. Line balls have, well, we're going to have another one here now. Gavin Mangan, impressive so far, but on that occasion her ball, which she's looking for Grania Egan, just misplaced, miscued. A chance now for Roisin Ambrose to come away with it. Advantage being played. Ambrose straight up the middle, plenty and plenty in those legs. She seems no sign of abating. And now she recycles it out here to Leah Coughlin. Coughlin, great defending by Offaly. Coughlin forced to go back, but it finds its way to Iris Kennelly. Can she add to that point she got a few minutes ago? As I said already, the roar is getting louder on that far sideline as the real important time of the game comes into view. The last 15 minutes, we're inside that now. And a chance for Offaly. Can they add to this goal advantage that they have? 3, 4, 5 Offaly players now in attack, and one of them on the ball is corner forward Mairead Daly, checking back inside, looking for options. Finds a runner. Limerick through Roisin Ambrose dispossess her. Ball played fairly. Referee right on the spot, so he had the best view in the entire ground. As an Offaly player stays injured on the ground, Limerick trying to launch an attack, and here they come through. Well, it was Katie Heelan, but it was a fair tackle back to Andrea O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan decides, let's go out the other side and have a look, and let's get Maeve McCarthy into the game. Or McNamara, I should say. McNamara now. Just a little bit unlucky with her pass, doesn't find Katie Heelan, and it again coughed up one way, coughed up the other. A chance for Roisin Ambrose. Green grass in front of her. Referee allows that shoulder. Indeed, he doesn't allow that shoulder. Just as she outstretched the ball, there was a bit too forceful there, and a chance for Limerick to have a pop at the goals. 17 minutes gone, so the water break imminent once the ball probably goes out over the end line. As an Offaly player, not sure who it is on the floor receiving treatment to our left hand side. So we may indeed be halted for this for a couple of moments. A reminder, plenty of action on the ladies Gaelic football front in the next couple of weeks. Round 3 of all the divisions streamed over the next weekend, including the final game in this group, Limerick, who host Carlow. I'm sure the Carlow management watching in. They've seen plenty about Limerick that will worry them. They've seen plenty that they will think they can exploit. And a bit like Carlow last week, Limerick conceded 3 goals to this very, very formidable Offaly lineup, Offaly forward line. Look, we're going to resume with this Limerick free. Chance to cut the gap to 2. It's going to go short. finds a Limerick shirt. Oh, well blocked down there. Great block down by Roisin Ennis. And that saved a very likely score and a chance for Offaly. Oh, and another great bit of work there this time by Iris Kennelly, but it still finds its way to an Offaly shirt. An advantage being played here as Marie Byrne storms through the middle. Here inside to Egan. Egan off the right foot. We've seen what she's done from place ball. She's more than capable from play as well. She's got every single score for Offaly in the second half. They won't care where they come from. And there is the water break. And Offaly, well, despite a shaky start to the second half, they find themselves 4 to the good. 3-9 to 2-8. Reminder, goals in the first half from Mairead Daly in the 5th and 29 minutes had them 2-5 to 6 ahead at the interval. But then within around 100 seconds of the second half, Limerick with goals from Andrea O'Sullivan and Amy Ryan had them ahead by a point. Iris Kennelly added to that, but since then 1 Limerick point and a goal and 4 for Grania Egan and Offaly. So well and truly still in the balance, and Offaly with their nose in front at this second half water break. Shrew blasted the whistle from the Waterford official, and he's calling the teams back out. In fairness, very, very warm day here in Tullamore, so water very much needed. There's going to be a couple of subs here, I think. Four-point margin. Can Offaly extend that, or can Limerick haul them back in again? They'll have about 12, maybe just under 12 minutes to do so. So we'll resume with a Sophie Hennessy kick out. After that Grania Egan point from play. First of the second half after a goal from a penalty and 3 frees as well. So what can Limerick create from here? Yvonne Lee. Back across to Leah Coughlin.
Substitution on the Limerick team, number 21, Cleanan Callie, replaces number 5, Maeve McNamara.
So you may have heard that there. 1 sub for Limerick at the water break. Cleanan Callie replacing Maeve McNamara. And too many steps by Limerick, and the ball turned over. Looking towards Grania Egan, she takes that well with 2 hands. But good defending by Limerick captain Niamh McCarthy, and they have a chance now of turning it over. Free letting play go. And this is Cleanan Callie, a Galway native, but finds herself living and indeed working in Limerick. Had played previously with Munger St. Paul's in Limerick, but finds herself back with her club in Galway. And too forceful there from, I believe it was Roisin Ambrose. She's going to receive a ticking from the match official. So Limerick really need to try and play the game in the other half of the field. Awfully happy enough with this so far in the second half. As Roisin Egan takes a short free. Egan loops around and gets it back off the right boot. What about that for a score? Brilliant stuff from the centre forward. Took the free, looped around for the return. No one tracking the run from a Limerick point of view. And Egan adds to the advantage. Grania Egan, that is, or sorry, Roisin Egan, I should say, on this occasion. Two busy players indeed, the two Egans. But, back to that 5-point margin that we were at the interval, but plenty has happened since. Limerick will be thinking we need another green flag to try and win this. As a substitution on the Offaly team, and it's Emma Maher who is making way. And in her place is number 19, Ciara Walsh.
Substitution on the Offaly team, number 19, Ciara Walsh replaces number 10, Emma Maher.
Another chance here now for Offaly. Oh, it's a great block by Niamh McCarthy, but still there for the white of Offaly. And it's sent high, it's sent just to the right hand side and wide from Grania Egan. Ciara Walsh, featured in the first half as a temporary sub, did get a point. And a substitution on the Limerick team, Anya Cunningham. As I said, yes, already played yesterday for Limerick against Galway, so the legs perhaps tightening up in the final exchanges here, and she makes way for Limerick. And in her place is number 17, which is Shauna Ryan. Limerick go along with the kick out, and Clean and Kelly catches it. Very well done, and she looks for Shauna Ryan. It's going to be a foot race for that one.
Substitution on the Limerick
It's Michelle Mann who wins that foot race. And Offaly come away with it through Aoife Carey. Carey flicks it inside Offaly's hand passing, and must be said, very, very good at times today. Really comfortable in possession as Roisin Ennis comes through the middle and finds Roisin Egan. Egan pops it over 4 Limerick players into the inside forward line, and that's Mairead Daly. Haven't seen much of Daly in the second half. Goes through a couple of challenges, is going to have to go back here, and indeed she does, to Grania Egan. Egan, she goes through the same couple of challenges, but Limerick come up with it. Blocked down well by Daly. Can Offaly work another scoring opportunity and get themselves to 6 points in front? Indeed they can. Another well taken score, this time from Marie Byrne. And Limerick, despite turning over the ball, they've been very, very annoyed that they coughed it up very, very easily, especially in their defensive third. So Offaly in firm control now as we head down the stretch. 7 minutes or so left here. The game last week perhaps standing a little bit more to Offaly. Testing conditions in terms of the heat. Limerick trying to get out of trouble here as Caroline Hickey finds Roisin Ambrose. Ambrose tracked down by Avi Gavin Mangan. Great work from Gavin Mangan. And the bodies funnel back as Clean Kelly has it. Can Limerick work a score? Finds its way out here to Amy Ryan. Ryan off the right boot. And that's a very well taken score from Amy Ryan. Badly needed if you're a Limerick supporter. And Ryan adds to that earlier goal. And a 54th minute now. Limerick hadn't scored for in around 15 minutes. Maybe a little bit longer even. Desperately needed a score, back to 5 points the margin. Offaly have certainly dominated possession. Bar the first 3 or 4 minutes of the second half, it has been Offaly in firm control of the football. And the referee's going to throw it up. Bit of a ruck developing there. Niamh McCarthy was the Limerick player involved, so she's earned a throw ball here, which they're going to need to win. Once again, we must send our best wishes to Tom Fitzmaurice, the Offaly Ladies Football Chairman. Suffered an injury last week off his bicycle. I hope to see you back at the game soon, Tom. Thankfully, the injuries here seem to be over for the time being, and it's going to be the throw ball after that. Bit of a ruck in the middle of the field. Amy Gavin Mangle, the Offaly player, and she gets a hand to it, but it finds its way to Ambrose bursts out of the
Substitute
trouble there.
for the Offaly team, number 17, Nicole Byrne is replaced. Sorry, number 9, Eva Kerr is replaced with number 17, Nicole Byrne.
Nicole Byrne on for Offaly in place of Aoife Carey. The ball, it's a free now to Offaly. Will they take it quickly? They're looking to do so, but Gráinne Egan's having none of that. She's going to put the ball down as a sub again on the Limerick team. Making way, it seems to be, is Leah Coughlin. And in her place is Grace Lee. Lee, another one of the 4 dual stars for Limerick. Plays her club football with Mona Gay, plays her camogie with Newcastle West. In fact, she's gone back off the field again. This free goes short. Dangerous moments for Limerick, and Niamh McCarthy picks it up, finds her goalkeeper, Sophie Hennessy.
Limerick team, number 27, Megan Buckley, replaces number 4, Leah Coughlin.
In fact, according to the PA here, it is Megan Buckley who's come in for Limerick, and not 27 Grace Lee, who was advertised on the programme. In any case, Limerick have possession of it, and they're looking to launch their latest attack. The pass is too long. Roisin Ambrose just thought she had it there, but as judged have pulled back the Offaly player. And with 3 minutes or so to go, you'd have to think Offaly are going to see this out 5 points to the good. But we did see what Limerick can do in the space of 3 minutes. Start of the second half. They may need something similar to get a result on the road here. Ball with Ciara Walsh. Goes through a couple of challenges, but Clean Callig is there for Limerick. And again, we have a scrum developing. And the match official steps in to throw the ball up between Caroline Hickey and Amy Gavin Mangan. Hickey in front, but it's Mangan behind, Gavin Mangan behind, who grabs hold of it. And just when advantage looked to be accruing, she gets the free. That'll suit the Offaly management and players just fine at this point in the game as Limerick prepare another sub. How good is the range of Gráinne Egan's right boot? We've seen her closer to range, we've seen her from angles. This is about 38, 39 metres out, but it goes short, finds her teammate, and it's over the bar. The result is just exactly what Offaly would have wanted. A well taken score, and this time it's from the boot, left boot of Mairead Daly, as Limerick do make that substitution. Roisin Ambrose makes way. 90 seconds or so of normal time to go. And in Roisin's place is Louise Ryan from St. Bridget's. And Ryan is going to be straight onto this kick out. Plenty in the legs there now for Ryan. Can she help create a goal? It's going to have to be a goal at this stage for the treaty, as the faithful get back in position, and plenty of defensive cover now as Limerick going to have to try and pick a gap. Here is Shauna Ryan. Shauna Ryan just loses possession of it. 2 or 3 Offaly players managed to stifle that attack, and it looks to be Offaly's day, and they're going to be progressing to that semi-final. Who they'll be facing is completely up in the air. Derry, Leitrim, Louth and Antrim in the other group, all with plenty to play for between the rest of their games, which are taking place now, and indeed their games round 3 next week. Limerick looking for charging, but the referee says nothing doing, and Limerick progress with the ball through Christine Reedy, slipping it off to Louise Ryan. Ryan is blocked down. Great work by the Offaly player. Offaly progressing through. Mairead Daly switches it across, chance of a 4th Offaly goal, and she's missed it. Roisin Egan be very disappointed with that. Hard work done, sold the dummy, but just slightly wayward off the right foot, and the 4th goal will lose them. 3-12 still, very impressive scoring at this point in the season, considering we had months and months of no club or county action. Offaly will be very happy with the result as we enter, we're nearly a minute into stoppage time now. So it'll be a straight shootout next week between Limerick and Carlow. In fact, scoring difference, even if it were to be a draw, would be tight, because I think it was 6 points between the sides last week, meaning that both Limerick and Carlow, as it stands, are on -6. Yeah, 116 to 316 last week between Carlow and Offaly, and another 6-point margin here. So very, very interesting to see what way that one will go next week. But Limerick can improve their situation with a score or two late on here. And the ball is just a little bit too long for Andrea O'Sullivan. Plenty of white shirts raiding up the field for one more attack. Limerick funneling back, but looking for maybe a fourth goal. Instead, she is, well, she was happy with the point, but she skews it to the left. And another Offaly wide. That'll be something that Gary Daly will be concerned about. Double digits in the wide counts this afternoon, but again, 3 goals, plenty to be positive about there. Can Limerick get their 3rd goal and make it a 1-score game? Good link play from Limerick. Involved there was Megan Buckley, but it comes back to Andrea Sullivan. Score of a very, very good goal, just 10 or 15 seconds or so into the second half. Shirks a tackle, finds Lena Nicalig. Nicalig off the right foot and over the point. You may not recognise the significance of that point, but if Limerick were to draw with Carlow next week, that point could make all the difference. Limerick moving to -5 on the plus-minus charts, and Carlow on -6 after last week. So a very important score. Well, it remains to be seen whether it will be or not, but certainly good for a sub to come on and contribute to the score. Flurry of Offaly subs there. We'll bring him to you when we have him. 3, in fact. And so we're very, very deep now in stoppage time, and this one player who started the game, who's still going strong, Amy Gavin Mangan, across to Egan. Grania Egan, low foot pass. And it looks like Limerick who might come away with it. No, we're going to have another throw up.
Triple substitution on the Offaly team. Number 20, Ciara Galvin replaces number 14, Chloe Sheridan. Number 29, Roisin Kane replaces number 6, Dawn Hannon. And number 18, Tara Dunn replaces number 11, Roisin Egan.
So if you didn't catch that there, the 3 subs on for Offaly are Tara Dunn, Ciara Galvin and Irene Murphy. So 3 on there, and Dawn Hannon, Roisin Egan and Chloe Sheridan. Their race has run for the day, but very good contributions from the trio. As Limerick come up the field through Louise Ryan. Inside to Christine Reedy. Again, that pass just not to hand, not to. And there is the final whistle here in Bordnamona O'Connor Park. It's Offaly who win out. A bit of a scare to start to the second half when Limerick got 2 goals and a point in a couple of minutes, but Offaly regrouped and managed to pick off plenty of scores from then on, and Grania Egan to the fore.